Could be waking up in this $10,000 a month apartment in Miami with ocean views right across from the beach, all paid for by one commercial property. Here's the truth, you don't need 10 properties to live this sort of lifestyle. One great deal can fund it all. Today I'm going to show you how this one warehouse in regional Australia is generating over $125,000 a year in passive income. And this large industrial property in Gosford generates enough passive income to fund the entire cost of a luxury Miami apartment. I'm James Hawthorne and I research commercial property deals to see what sort of lifestyle they can actually fund. Today I'm going to show you the numbers and the strategy behind this warehouse and how it can completely fund a Miami lifestyle. So let's get into it. Now let's get into analysing the property that's going to fund our financial freedom. So I found this massive warehouse in West Gosford, New South Wales, and it sold for $4.25 million. So it's on a pretty big land area, almost an acre, with a 2,439 square metre floor area. And it's zoned as an industrial property zoning. So as you can see from the pictures, it's a pretty big warehouse. It's got some parking out the front and along the sides, which is good for tenants, especially in a warehouse. They're going to want to drive to work. You can see the only problem just from these photos that I can see, because it's zoned industrially, all the properties you can see in the area are warehouses. So that's just going to mean there's a bigger supply of warehouses in the area. I'm not sure what the vacancy rate is, but that's one negative that I can see from this property. We've got like a self-storage facility next to it, and I'm not sure what this is, but another warehouse. But you can see they've added some value to the property by putting solar panels on the roofs. You could probably add a few more just to lower the electricity bills for the property, and you can charge that to the tenant to increase the net income. But overall, it looks like a decent warehouse on a decent size. Let's go and look at a few more photos. So it's got a big shutter door, look, so you can drive your trucks in. So you can see it's currently tenanted by a timber company. They've got their own little shop. This is where I think you could add a bit more value to the property and increase the rent you're getting from the property. So there's this huge office space, and it's got, look, 3 little chairs and a desk. And I think you could just split this up into a couple office spaces and rent it out to a few different people, a few different tenants, and then you can increase the actual net income from the property, because it's a huge office space and they've got nothing in it. I mean, there's no point having it. You just got to add some tenants in, increase the net income. It's a huge space, and as you can see, if we keep looking through, and the property's surrounded by industrial warehouses, not far from the water. It's in the middle of Gosford. But that's just one negative. You can see a property down here. It's got lots of solar panels, so that's one way you could add some income to the property. Now, if we scroll down, it's in West Gosford, so a bit out of town, but it's got a lot of It's got a lot of car parking, so tenants can go there and park their car and drive to work. And it's currently leased to North Shore Timbers. It doesn't say how long the lease is for, but ideally you want to renew that lease. And the current net income is $25,000 per month, which is $300,000 per year. And just from looking at the properties, you could add some value by adding some solar panels, and you could also split up that office space that's completely underused at the moment by the company, the tenant that's in there. So you could split that up, increase the net income, which will increase the value of the property. The only negative that I can see from the property is that it's industrially zoned, so there's a huge supply of warehouses in the area. Now let's get into actually analysing the cash flow to see what sort of passive income this property can generate. So this property was sold for $4.25 million, assuming a 30% deposit. That net income was $25,000 a month, which equals $304,000 a year. So that's the income from the property. And say you're on a 6% interest rate, your repayments are going to be $178,000 a year. That's just interest only. So the cash flow, we've got that $304,000 of rent, $178,000 of interest. Our cash flow position is going to be $125,000 a year passive income just from this one property. So that's a pretty good income. That's, the way above the average Australian wage. You're getting this passive income every month just from this one property. And if we look at the cash flow snapshot, it's not until you get to 11% interest rates as the property start to become negatively geared, and it's $22,000 a year. So you've got a huge buffer in place for how high interest rates have to go before you start coming out of your own pocket to pay for the property. Interest rates start to go down to 3%, which only happened a few years ago. You're going to be positive geared $215,000, even at a 70% LVR, which is a huge amount of passive income. And if we look at the property pay down calculator, still using that same purchase price, same yield, and you're using a 4% rental increase each year, same interest repayments. So in that first year, you're going to positively geared $125,000. By year 5, if you're using that cash flow to pay down the property, you're going to be positively geared $215,000 from this one property. That's way above the average Australian household income just from this one property. And by year 10, you're generating $374,000 a year in passive income from the one property. And by year 11, the property is completely paid off. And let's see, by year 15, you're generating over $500,000 in passive income just from this one warehouse in Gosford. So that's the power of commercial property. Just one property can completely fund your dream lifestyle with $500,000 passive income from one property, debt-free, completely paid off, coming into your bank account every month. It's pretty amazing what, the compounding effect of commercial property can actually do for your life. So let's go and see what sort of lifestyle can actually fund through the passive income from this one property. So for boiling on a budget, I thought, why not go to Miami, see what sort of lifestyle you can live. It's the hotspot in America right now. And I found this really nice apartment that you can rent out for $9,000 a month. And it's overlooking the ocean, rivers. It's got nice parks in the area, amazing facilities, and you can rent it out for $108,000 a year, which fits within our budget of $125,000 of passive income just through the one warehouse in Gosford. So let's go look at the property. So I found this property. You can see it's got amazing views of the skyline, the ocean of Miami. It's a really nice modern apartment. You've got arena not far, so you can go see events, live events. It's got parks in the area, nice kitchen, lots of space. It's not a huge apartment, but it's really nice views, facilities as well. Huge bathroom, double basin, walk-in wardrobe. And, it's got a good public transport and walking in the area. It's a 2-bed, 2.5 bathroom, one of the higher floors of the property, so you get those nice views. And it's in one of the nice districts in Miami, 10 minutes from the airport as well. So it's a pretty amazing property, and you're getting it for $108,000 a year, which fits within our budget of $125,000, and it's completely funded just by this one property in Gosford, a warehouse. And there are some value-add opportunities in the warehouse by dividing up that office space, renting it out, adding some solar panels onto the roof. So there's some ways to increase that net income, which will increase the passive income you're generating from the property, and we sell that you can get it completely paid off in 11 years. In 15 years, it's generating $500,000 of passive income just from the one property. That's the Miami lifestyle, completely funded by one commercial property in Gosford. Now, if you like these sorts of videos, go watch my last video where I show you how one commercial property deal completely funds a luxury lifestyle in London. So go watch that next, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out.